Now, you don't have to ask me twice to do a review on an Aston Martin Vanquish right at the peak of British summertime, where there are blue skies and open roads in the middle of the Cotswolds. And that's where you find us today. And this is my own personal car. This is my own Aston Martin Vanquish 2017. It's the black carbon edition, so it's got all the extra bits on it, which I absolutely love. And it pops in the sun. The paintwork is phenomenal. The carbon on here looks amazing. Yeah, you could say, do you know, it's a black car, so it gets lost a little bit, and I sort of understand that. But when this is clean, and when those wheels are gleaming, this car looks sensational. From every single angle, it is a work of art. It is an absolute piece of beauty. And wherever you go, people look, they stop you, it's got that curb appeal. But there's a different type of recognition that you get with an Aston Martin. And I've always said the same to my friends, look, if it's good enough for James Bond, it's good enough for me. And Aston just has this class, this elegance, this sophistication about it. And I believe that the Vanquish is one of the best looking Astons ever. That's why I got it. I was not sure what this was going to bring when I first got the Vanquish, because I come out of an AMG GTR, which is a pure, you know, race car basically. I had full race pack and roll cage, and I was a bit pessimistic, I suppose, about getting into this. But I've always wanted an Aston. I think everybody throughout their love of cars would always want to tick off the Aston on their list, and so I felt it was time for me to do that. And this car come up, and it was a rare one. You know, there's only 63 of these right-hand drive carbon black editions made, and I thought to myself, I'm just going to go for it. It was a really good example, low miles, and I thought I just need to, you know, itch that little, you know, scratch the itch, as they say. Sorry, I just need to get it done. And now I've been driving it for 9 months. I really can't see myself selling it. I love the car that much. And the things that I love about this car is how you can just flip it from a really nice, beautiful riding, luxurious sort of cruising GT, smooth, into a bit of a brute. You're away. When you press that sport button and you stiffen up the dampers, it's much more responsive, as you would expect on the throttle. The gear changes, the transmission again is more responsive, the steering's more responsive, and it really opens up those valves. And when it opens up the valves on this car, it sounds absolutely sensational. It's in a league of its own, this engine. It really, really is. This 6 litre, or 5.9 to be more precise, V12 is just in a league of its own. It really, really is. And yes, I understand Ferraris do sound exquisite as well, but there's something about this Aston engine, and I believe it's not just up the top of the rev range in this engine. What I love about it is when you just open up the valves and then shut them again at around 3,000, it has this like thunderous, grumpy grizzly bear rumble. It's like thunder, and it really brings a huge smile to your face, because you don't really need to be, you know, putting the hammer down all the time to experience how amazing this car is. It's got it all for me, and I'm going to struggle. I'm going to struggle to sell it. I really, really am. I was looking at the DBS, and maybe I'll move into that after, but I believe this is the last of the pure breed Astons, you know. Hasn't got that V8 AMG engine in it, you know, the running gear inside, the technology. Does it need updating? Of course it does. I mean, it's been in these Astons for such a long time right now. But does it work? Does it look good? Does it fit the car? 100% it fits the car. And inside this particular one, because it is the carbon edition, you get the carbon inlays on the door. You also get the carbon dash that looks really nice. It's like a dog tooth type carbon. It's amazing. Inside here, the stitching and the smell of the leather and the roof lining, and you just know that you're in something special when you're in this car. It feels special. It's an Aston, but it's really got that heritage to it, and it's just it's just a car that you can just all of a sudden switch from absolute ludicrousy right the way back to, I'm just going to potter up the road and enjoy this going through the country lanes. And I just really love that about it. I love the dynamic of this car. It's really diverse. And I think that's what really draws me to it even more every single time. It's knowing that you've got that if you really want it. You've got that sport button if you really want it. And as you know, when you've got something there, you don't tend to use it as much. You know, you always want what you don't have. And this car has it all. It's absolutely amazing. The luggage space in this car is unreal. I've driven this to the airport many times, dropped my wife off long flights. So one large suitcase and a carry-on case, this will swallow, no problem. So loads of boot space as well. A couple of things to look out for on this car. Carbon ceramic brakes, which are amazing, by the way. They stop on a pin. However, if you want to change these brakes, like any carbon ceramic brakes, they're pretty expensive. These ones in particular, just for the discs, are £16,000. So if you are going to go and buy a used one of these, which is probably going to be anyway, because they're not making them anymore, but if you are going to try to buy a good example of these, really start to look for those things, because the ceramic brakes, you don't really want to be replacing them. That's one thing as well. Also, start to look at some of the front lights and the back lights, the headlights and the tail lights, just for condensation, that sort of stuff. This car in particular has got full front PPF. I've had it redone since I got it as well, and it really pops this in the sun. The Aston paint, I don't know how many layers it is, but I can tell you one thing, it gleams. When this is washed and polished, it is out of this world. It looks stunning, and it gets so much attention, this car, but in the right way. That's what I like about it, in the right way. But there's just something really unique about this particular Aston, the Vanquish, and it's one of the very, very last V12s from Aston Martin. And when you're driving it, you do feel like you're driving a bit of history. You feel like you're part of something bigger than the car. You're part of a group of people, individuals, that not only get behind motorsport, but they also realise that to have an Aston Martin puts them in a unique club, because it's unique in its experience, this car. It really is. And I've taken this on really long journeys, and I can tell you, 200-300 miles, you get out of this and you feel brand new. There is not one part of your lower back that says, please save me, no longer. You can just drive this car forever. It's one of those cars that you don't want to get out of. And that for me is exactly why I bought this car. It's because I wanted to experience this car for what it was made for, which is these types of roads, as I mentioned, in the Cotswolds, these B roads. And it really comes alive on these roads if you want it to, or we can just cruise what we're doing now. We're doing 45 miles per hour, and it's just nice, chilling, luxury. You feel like, do you know what? I'm quite happy at this speed. I don't need to do anything else if I don't want to. However, if you decide that that isn't enough, you've always got this. This engine is unbelievable. This is one of the best sounding cars, best sounding V12s I've ever heard. Yes, this isn't standard. I've had a couple of things done to the exhaust. Thank you to Velocity AP. They have put a bespoke exhaust system on this, and it sounds absolutely insane. We've got the windows shut at the moment, but if I just open the windows, especially through this particular part, I mean, come on. It just puts a smile on your face, this car, whenever you drive it. Whenever you drive this car, you just want more of it. And I believe that's exactly why we buy cars, is to drive them. No, it's not to go to coffee runs and talk about your new set of dampers or how clean you've kept your wheels or how many miles you got. Cars are there to be experienced and driven. And country lanes like this car just eats up the miles. It eats it up, it's phenomenal. And it just purrs. I mean, listen. My God, it's a masterpiece, this car. This engine is just sensational. Sensational. This is a sort of car that you want to take on long road trips. This is a sort of car that you do want to spend a lot of time, a lot of hours in, just experiencing it and just listening to the sound of that V12. Is it the fastest car in the world? No, of course it's not. But it's not really meant for that. Aston didn't make this to be the fastest car, they made it to be the best. And I believe they have hit the nail on the head with this car. I mean, yes, has it got a lot of competition in the Ferrari F12 for, you know, as one of those competitions? Great car again. Would I choose it over this? For some reasons, yes, but as an all-rounder, I truly believe that this is just, it's just phenomenal. It really, really is. And you can see by the smile on my face, I don't want to stop driving it. I really, really don't. And that's what a car should mean to you. That's what we all buy cars for, is to just drive them and experience them, love them, share the experiences, not just with yourself, but your passengers, other people, which I haven't got one today, but I normally have. And this car is just great for going out with your friends or your wife or partner. And it's got that, you know, that cruising ability. You can either rock up to a beautiful restaurant in this car, or you can take it for a thrash like we just did down the B roads, and that is rare. That is rare. But when I drive it, I normally drive it hard, and it is just a great car for that, a great car. And so there's a Porsche next to us, for example, and he wants it, so perfect example. If it's there, you can use it. I think that says it all. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you back for another video. See you soon, guys.